Hello, I'm Paul Mackey and I'm the Finance and Admin Officer for the Solway Firth Partnership. In this video I'll be giving a brief overview of the accounts for the year ending 31st of March 2021. If you're interested in finding out more detail, then I would encourage you to have a look at the full published accounts, which are on our website, and we'll post a link in the description of the video. The first slide shows a summary of income and expenditure for the year. The total income for the year is £184,000 and is about 1% higher than last year. Total expenditure at about £106,000 is about 48% lower than last year. This has resulted in a substantial surplus for the year, most of which relates to restricted funds. Much of this restricted funds surplus is due to grant claims for work completed in previous financial years on the Solway Coastwise project and also on the Seas and Seas projects. As you can see from the bottom two lines showing funds brought forward and carried forward, the surplus has brought our overall restricted funds balance back into positive territory going into the current financial year, and this is great. The unrestricted surplus of £3,000 is down slightly from the previous year when the surplus was about £5,000. Normally we budget to break even every year on unrestricted funds, but it is nice to add a little bit to the unrestricted funds balance because, as you can see, these are very important for financing projects where grant funds are paid in arrears. The second slide shows a breakdown of income for the financial year broken down by project and by funder. The purple and green sections represent the Solway Coastwise project and the Seas and Seas projects respectively, and I mentioned these in the previous slide. The income for these two projects was around about £52,000, and this was the major driver for the improvement in the restricted funds balance that we saw in that previous slide. Funding for the Solway Coastwise project was provided by the Dumfries and Galloway Leader Programme and the Heritage Lottery Fund. Funding for the Seas and Seas projects was from the EU, the European Maritime Fisheries Fund, via the MMO in England and Marine Scotland in Scotland. The red section on the left represents the SMILE project, which continues to be funded by the European Maritime Fisheries Fund through Marine Scotland. Income on this project was £33,000. The dark blue section on the right represents our core funding. Our biggest core grant funder continues to be Marine Scotland. Other core funders in the year include Natural England, Cumbria County Council, Allerdale Borough Council, Carlisle City Council, and RWE Renewables, who generously support the publication of tidelines and also provide funding in return for our help in administering the Robin Rig Community Fund. During the year, we also received a £10,000 COVID relief grant from Dumfries and Galloway Council. And we're very grateful to all of these funders who help keep the organisation going. Finally, the light blue section represents all other projects and total just under £19,000 of income. Projects included here are the Solway Coast is Clear project, the Galloway's Glens project, and the Rins Online project. The final slide shows a breakdown of expenditure for the year, again broken down by project and by type of cost. As you can see, a substantial majority of the cost, nearly 70%, relates to core costs. This is a significant increase in the share of costs compared to previous years, and the increase is down to two major factors. The first is the end of the Solway Coastwise project, which I've mentioned before, and the second factor is the impact of COVID-19, which has resulted in, for example, virtually no in-person events being undertaken during the year. Also, visitor centres and the like were closed for much of the financial year, which in turn has meant no costs for printing guidebooks and other materials for distribution. As time goes on and COVID restrictions relax, we do expect to see the share of project costs increase again to what are historically more normal levels. So that was a brief overview of the Solway Firth Partnership accounts for the year ending 31st March 2021. I hope you found it useful. If you want to see more detail, do have a look at those published accounts on our website, and again, the link is in the description. Thanks for watching.